Ask Tom on Home Show.
Jay from Cary, North Carolina, seems to have some crack trouble.
He sure does. He has this one. It's a drywall crack that he's been unable to repair in his home, Tom. Jay writes to us, I used spackle the first time and drywall mud the second time with no tape. The house has foundation repairs, and the current contractors have found the house to be level and safe. The crack seems to expand and contract based upon seasons and humidity. Do you know, Tom, of a product or an additional repair method that you can recommend that'll bring this crack to an end?
Yeah, first off, what you did to repair it was wrong, so that's why it came back. Spackle, by the way, is not used for drywall. People make that mistake all the time. Spackle is actually for real plaster. So if you have a plaster wall that's got dings and dents in it, that's what you would use a plaster for, or a spackle for the plaster, and that's very rare in the Houston area for sure. Maybe North Carolina, if it is a true plaster, then that would have been the way to go. But none of that will hold if you don't tape it. I would not tape this crack. What I would do is I would nail it on either side where you have a structure behind it, right around that header, right where it's at the door. I'd put a couple of sheetrock nails in and dimple them down, then use joint compound old heads and let that, just smooth that out and let that dry. And I would use a really flexible caulking in that crack, because I have a crack like that in my house, and that's what I did, and it never came back. There's a good one on the market called Big Stretch. DAP makes some called window and door caulking. It's good. It's got a silicone in there. And what you do, get the white and just put it in there, and when you're done, take a damp sponge and just wipe it all off and just leave whatever little bit gets in that crack, and then let it cure overnight. And if you want to, you'll probably want to put a little paint on there where the nail heads were and that caulking, because it's moving just a little bit right there, and that flexible caulking will last quite a while before you have to do it again. But spackle and joint compound in a crack that moves even a little bit, it's gone. It'll show it right back.
What about the weather piece of that, Tom? What about the weather is making that happen if he's had the foundation stabilized?
Moisture, just humidity. You have humid and you have dry. And I'm sure in North Carolina, I'm not sure exactly on the state where he is. I've been there a few times and lived there for a little while. Whether you're by the coast or you're inland or up in the mountains, but it's just a matter of things shrinking and expanding. And quite frankly, that's a weak point. And that's why I think a few nails or screws in there, sheetrock screws, to tighten that corner up, because across the top of that door, you have a header. I'd put a few in there, and then down by that trim, you also have your stud, your king stud that goes all the way up, and I'd attach it there too, so I could tighten up that corner before I repaired the rest.
Tom wants to help you with your shrinkage problems too. You can go to HomeShowRadio.com, click on the Ask Tom button. You can send us a video. You can send us a written question like Jay did. And, of course, Jay sent a picture, too, which really helps. And it's easy. There's a little button there where you just click there and add a picture, and then we will answer your question. Tom and I do these every day. Post them at Home Show Radio's Facebook page, our YouTube channel, of course, at HomeShowRadio.com.